Okay, so I'm going to show you guys here a little different lock, a commercial lock. We always do doorknobs and deadbolts and different stuff. Let me show you a different style of lock, and it's almost always used on commercial buildings. All right, so I was going to show you on the building, but it ended up being much easier taking it off the door so I can mount my phone. Anyway, please make sure to follow me. Make sure to hit the like button. We need the like button absolutely, and follow me. I want to hear your comments on this. But let's get into this commercial interchangeable core. We call it an IC core. It's an interchangeable core, and let me show you why. Okay, you guys see me all the time do regular doorknobs and deadbolts and regular locks, but see these two things right here, these are called interchangeable cores. You know it's an interchangeable core because it's got this snowman type of thing. What this is made to do is when you put it on a building, it is made to be able to just pull out the core and leave everything else on the building, right? So that's the IC, it's interchangeable, right? So let me show you exactly what we're talking about. We have a normal user key. This one's just cut from the factory. This is a construction, so they have not generated keys yet. But the working key will do this. It will turn the lock. It'll turn the tail shaft, which will engage the latch inside the door, which will open the building, right? So this is just a typical what we call user key. But this key is totally different. It's got this little pin on it. And what this does is this does not operate the lock, but rather it pulls this IC core out of this entire housing, right? So with this, we turn it and whammo. This is why they call it an interchangeable core. This key does not operate. So again, if we put the user key in, it will operate the core, but it won't do nothing to this pin right here. This pin is what holds this lock into the housing. And then our control key, as we call them, operates only this pin, right? So as we turn that key, and that's as far as it goes, its only function in life is to remove and replace these interchangeable cores. So this particular one that we're doing is a repinnable, right? There's all sorts. We got Best and we got Schlage and we got different. This particular one we're dealing with is going to be a large format, which is going to let us pin these cores up with regular keys, right? And regular functions. The other, this isn't a Best, but something like this, here we go. This one is a Best, actually. So something like this has a special key. And these, again, I don't have the control key on this, but these you can't pin like we do a normal lock. You got to have presses that do different things, and there's all sorts of mathematics and pins that go into this. But we won't get into that. I just wanted to show you that these, and you'll notice, take a look on any of the commercial buildings that you visit daily, a restaurant or whatever it is, they're going to have these snowmen on there, and they're called interchangeable cores. And we have a small format, which means both of these snowmen are the same size, or we have a large format. The tops are the same, the bottom, this one's much fatter. This one we can rekey the standard way, this one we have to have special equipment. Let's rekey this, and I'm going to show you how it's a little bit different. It's the same thing, but different. There's special things inside this that we really got to pay attention to when you get to working on these. So we will unscrew the cap like we normally do. Be very careful with these springs and things. There's our pin. Let's get our spring. And now you'll notice in the back of this here, we have a ring. That ring is what the tip of this key controls. So notice the two keys. Notice the tip of this key, the tip of this key. This one's a lot longer. What that does, showed earlier, it activates this pin. So we have to be careful when removing this and taking this thing apart. So we're going to run our plug follower through like we normally do. Being careful not to drop any pins or anything. Keep all of this together. Here is the important part. So if you notice, this regular key does nothing to this very, very last pin. With the control key, it makes a good shear line here, but see how it raises that little pin. That little pin is what activates this arm right here. So we need to separate this little pin right here. Okay, so we'll separate that, and now we do everything else the same way. So we are making a 5-key cut because what they have on the front of the building is 3 other 5-pin locks. So the 6-pin won't work. So we're going to empty all of these, all 6 of these, and we're going to empty the 6th chamber here. And again, remember I told you we had to be very, very careful with things. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold this ring in here, and I'm going to let that 6th spring, and you see it coming right there. I'm going to let that pin leave. I'm going to dump out that spring. Now number 6 is empty. I'm going to push this back in. Again, don't let this thing come apart. If it does, it's not going to hurt anything, right? At the end of the day, let me show you. At the end of the day, if this does come out like this, well, then we just replace it. We just put it right back in. But no sense. Let's just be careful with that part. Now we're going to pin everything up like we normally do. I'm not going to bore you with that. Actually, I'm going to master key this where 2 keys work. So first things first, let me cut a master key. Made the master key, and now we're going to just pin. I always pin the lock up first to the master key, and then I come back and add the user key. I want to make sure the master key is going to work first. So I'm not going to bore you with all that. I've done things on master keying, and I can make another video later for that. Okay, I'm going to run this master into everything here, and let's see if this master key is going to work. So here I pull the master key out. Master key works perfect. Now the user keys that I cut, and I do this for the master, for the regional guy, so he can go to all of his stores and get in and not need their key. Now these are the keys that the store users are going to have. So these are 2 separate keys. This one operates many facilities, this one does not. I don't want to show you some of that master keying just for safety reasons. So anyway, we have the master key works. We have a user key. All their user keys work. So now what we're going to do, remember that special little pin that we had, right? That special little pin. We're now going to take everything out. We need to put that special little pin back in here. And put everything back in. Let's get that locked in, and wham, we'll just double check, make sure that our keys work, which I know they do. And now we'll put the tailpiece and everything back on. First, before I put all this together, I'm going to make now another control key. Remember that one with the long point? So let me make that. Okay, we made the key. Let's see if it works. So now this one will not operate the lock. There we go. But will operate that lug right there. So what was the name of this? What was the name of this lock? I called it an IC core. What does IC stand for? The letter I and the letter, ABC. IC. What does IC stand for? IC core. All right, sorry this video was a little bit longer than anticipated, but it's a cool topic. If you like it, you like it. Hopefully you do. Comment. What does IC stand for? Write in the comments. And please make sure to like this video. Hit that heart button. Follow me. I'm on my way to 50,000 followers.